Hi, it's Marianne with a scrapbooking process video. Today I made a Halloween layout using kind of old patterned paper. The one I'm going to end up using, this one right here, is from Echo Park. It's from Chillingworth Manor line. I think it's probably 2 years old. I think I got a Cocoa Daisy Halloween kit probably 2 years ago. And I think this piece of paper came in it. If not, then I bought it on my own. I'm just using a piece of crafts cardstock as my background. And then I just cut the Echo Park pattern paper. I cut it down quite a bit because that's not the only pattern paper I want on my layout. So here I'm looking through most of my fall themed papers. I don't really separate a lot of things, but these papers that are separate really say fall to me. I believe it's last October's Cocoa Daisy kit mixed in there, plus I had some crate paper. I think it was called Farm Market, I think. So I kept all of that together. I had some chipboard and some ribbons and some of the pattern paper. So I kept all that together, and these pieces of paper I know came in last year's October Cocoa Daisies kit. So I'm going to use this one. It doesn't really show up well on camera, but it kind of looks like a cable knit sweater, and it is a light orange. Here it kind of looks pink on the video, but it's definitely an orange. So as I was going through my fall stuff, I had a package of basic gray chipboard die cuts, and that reminded me that I had basic gray's line from last fall, and that I keep with my basic gray paper. So I went looking through that, pulled it out, and I'm going to use this stripe. The other side is a really cute floral pattern that I really love, but it's just too girly for this layout, so I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to use, it's like an orange and gray kind of tonal stripe. So I'm going to use that on this layout. That little piece of paper had a strip of orange. I was considering using that, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to cut this piece of basic gray. I used my trimmer and I kind of measured. I guess I went to like 3, 3.5, 3.25, just because I know I want to use it as like a strip across my page. So I don't have an exact measurement of what I did, but I'm going to say it's like between 3 and 3.5, somewhere along there. That's generally the measurement that I would use when I know I just want a little bit of a stripe, and also if I want to save most of the pattern for something else. You know, it has that nice floral that I really like. So I cut about, like I said, 3 inches. And I also know I want to use that cable knit looking paper. I'm not sure who makes it. It might be Chic Tags, or I think that might be what it's from, but it's from last October's Cocoa Daisy kit. I know I want to ink my edges, so I just pulled out some of my Tim Holtz Distress inks, which I have had forever. And I'm just going to ink up the edges, and then I'm going to use my distress tool and just rough up the edges. The paper was already distressed. It had like stains on it. That's the way the paper comes. So I was just adding to it. And I just want to rough it up a little bit, because my daughter is in this photo with a bunch of her friends from last October when they went trick-or-treating. Her and some of her friends dressed up as superheroes, which, let's face it, is not really spooky, but that's going to be my title, super spooky, super for superheroes. So I didn't want to do such a clean looking layout because it is Halloween. I wanted to distress it a little bit. So I guess that's the spooky part, that it's kind of not all pretty and white and clean. So, and there's no journaling on the finished project. My daughter will fill in, or after, when I go to slip it into the album, I'll just write a little bit about it, because, you know, a lot of her friends are in this picture, so no information that the internet needs to have. So I took the orange cable knit paper and I just inked up the edges. First I was using my Distress foam applicator, but I didn't really like the way that looked. I really just wanted to do direct to paper. I just wanted the edges nice and dark. And here I know I want to matte my photo in black, so I'm going to pull out a piece of black cardstock and matte my photo. And then I felt like I wanted another pattern on my page, so I just went looking through my scraps, and I happened to come across a piece, a scrap of basic gray from that same autumn line, and it's just a little black print, which I really like, so I'm going to use that. I'm just gonna, I think I had two scraps and one, I'm just not even, that one right there, I'm not even gonna cut it down, I'm just gonna use it just that size and just gonna layer it in there. So now I finally decided on, okay, so these are my patterns. I'm not exactly sure. Now I'm just kind of going to see how I like where everything goes. My idea is to put a title up on the top on the orange paper, and that does eventually happen, I think, in the end. I'll have to see how it all plays out, because I do have it laid out a certain way, and then when I go to glue it all together, I think it comes out a different way. But it's fine. It wasn't, any special thing. I do use my pencil and mark where my paper was, but I remember when I was assembling it, putting it back, my pencil marks were not really coordinating to the pattern paper, so I don't know what I was marking. So these sticker sheets, one is a die cut sheet, that one's from My Mind's Eye. That one definitely came with the Cocoa Daisy Halloween project kit from a few years ago. And I want to add some circular elements to my page. So I know I want to use some of these big die cut pieces. So that one says October 31st with some orange glitter on it. And the orange glitter on the die cut and the orange pattern paper are definitely two different oranges. So I'm going to have to bring in more of that glitter. I also know I want to put some gold mist splatters on my craft cardstock. So I just use my Heidi Swapp Gold Lame, which I just love. If you don't have it, I highly recommend it. Go find yourself a bottle. So I just put a few sprinkles on the background, and I wanted to keep making the page, so I am going to, off camera, I'm going to heat set it. Although I'm not sure why, but it took a really long time to dry. I don't know if it was something to do with the kind of cardstock I was using or whatever. It just seemed like it took an extra long time for it to dry. So now I know I need I need more of that orange glitter that was on the die cut, because it kind of didn't go with the orange in the pattern paper. But once I see I added the other die cut. There's a round piece of chipboard. I added that, and that's going to look fine. So I'm going to have 3 glitter elements there. That big border up top and the 2 chipboard circles, and now it's all going to coordinate nicely. So here I'm looking, because I know I want my title to be super spooky. And so I'm just going through some of my thickers, and those big, huge black sticker letters came in the September Cocoa Daisy. Was it the main kit? I think it was an add-on. I think they're by Jen Hatfield. So those are a new product. They're great. They're really big though. So I'm going to end up using those to write the word spooky. So like I said, I had put little pencil marks about where I wanted to lay my pattern paper back down onto my cardstock, but it just was a little bit off. I don't know what I did. So it's not going to go back exactly the same way. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what I did. So now I'm just kind of flipping things around, and in the end I'm going to realize it doesn't really matter. I also distressed inked the edges of the yellow stripe paper, and I think the black pattern paper also. So all my edges are inked. And so now I know I'm going to want to use those big sticker letters. So I'm just going to glue them down, stick them down. And I want the word spooky to extend all the way across that black piece of pattern paper. So I think I'm going to pull up and move around a little bit in a second, because I didn't lay out my title ahead of time. I don't usually do that. Sometimes I do if it's an exceptionally long title, but I usually just eyeball it, and then if I have to move things around. I mean, you know, sometimes I get into trouble doing that, because then my title's stuck down and then I try to move things and I rip the paper, but that didn't happen this time, so that was good. So now I'm just trying to reassemble my layout the way I had it. And I made this page also for a challenge that is running at one of the scrapbooking websites that I hang around at. We're having a fun Columbus Day scrapping challenge weekend. So this video is also to showcase that challenge. So if anybody from that website is watching, I'm just going to say hi, peeps. And I hope you play along with the challenge if you belong to that website. So it's a recipe challenge, and you have to use a brown piece of cardstock as your background, or just brown paper, a little bit of gold on your layout, a little bit of string twine or ribbon, and some circular elements. So I have most of that going on right now. So now I'm looking for something to write super in, and since I have these stickers out, they're definitely spooky looking, Halloween themed, and I knew as soon as I started to put them down that they weren't going to work, but I kept going anyway just to be sure. So now I've decided, forget putting it above spooky, I'm going to put it to the side of it, and maybe I'll just use those little letters that came on a sticker sheet. I had a few Halloween embellishment sticker sheets that I wanted to use up. So one had, I'm not sure which one that is, that might be from Echo Park also. So it had sticker letters on there, so I thought I would use that, but they are way too small in comparison to the really big letters of the spooky. So then I remembered I had thickers that were a similar font, but more dimension. So I'm going to like those next to spooky. However, that little sticker I stuck down is too small to house them. So on the sticker sheet were a bunch of tickets, orange tickets. So I was too lazy to rip off the old sticker, so I just took two of those little ticket ones and just layered them together and over the old sticker and stuck the thickers right on top. And I was happy with that. And now I'm going to move on to the circular embellishments. I have this package of brads that came from My Mind's Eye. I love those little packages of brads. I have them in a bunch of all the different lines that My Mind's Eye makes. Sometimes they just add the right touch. And in my head, I also knew I wanted to use a Jenny Bolin button. I have a big, huge button jar with most of my buttons in it, but I do have a little baggie. I did subscribe to Jenny Bolin kits for probably 2 years, so I have a nice stash of her stuff. I'm a big fan of hers. So I went looking. I knew I wanted like one of those special buttons. I knew I had orange. So when I laid orange on the layout, it just was going to add another tone of orange, so I didn't want that. So I picked a black one. And I also took a sticker off one of the sticker sheets. It's just of a clock face, and I'm going to layer the button on top of that. And one of the chipboard pieces has a lot of room on it, so I'm going to layer one of those My Mind's Eye brads on top. And here I'm going to use my fancy brad tool, otherwise known as scissors, to just poke a hole. I put the brad right through. And then I'm going to use some pop dots because this big piece of the one with the poison bottle on it is so fat that to layer that other chipboard piece on top, you have to add a pop dot on, or else it won't stick right. So I have a cluster of 3 circular elements, and then really within those circular elements are another 3 circles. So I have 2 chipboard pieces and the sticker, those are 3, and then the button, the brad, and the other little tag. Those are another 3. I pulled out my twine. I had some orange and some black, and I decided to go with the orange twine. I have, a huge stash of ribbon and a huge stash of twine. Here's a close-up picture of my finished, or just a picture of my finished page. I put a little sticker letters on there and a rub-on. And that's another little close-up. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.